Good evening, guys. Hope everything's well. This is a little close. I'm in my office. As you know, we moved, so I'm actually in the paper room, I think, of the church because they're getting ready to put a preschool in. You haven't been on campus for 3 months, but they've taken out those portables. Anyways, I'm here at church. It's about 6 o'clock on Thursday, and what we're doing here is I'm part of a task force to get us back to meeting together. I was hoping that last week we'd have had our first service. We're not quite there yet. We have a beta service, just for the regathering, testing it out on this Sunday. So that'll be exciting. It's a tough one. Behind me, the reason we're having this is our calendar for summer. If you look, there's nothing on it because I don't know what to do. We've had to cancel everything. And as you guys, your families have, and school, everything's up in the air. Even today, the governor said, hey, we all have to, just an hour and a half ago, we all have to wear face masks everywhere again. It's just a tough one. But I have faith. I have faith that God is good, that things will turn out for the best, and that we will be able to regather, go to the beach, hang out, talk story about Jesus, all those things. Tonight for a quick devotion, and I know you're probably tired of seeing me on Instagram. I'm kind of tired of looking at my face. I'm getting these COVID jobs. Look, this is bad. I shouldn't be doing that right there. So today we're looking at what's called the invisible man. It's pretty apropos for these days, what's going on. And his name is Enoch. And in Hebrews 11:5, just to write your notes down, it says this about him. By faith Enoch was taken away so that he did not experience death. And he was not to be found because God took him away. For prior to his transformation, he was approved, having pleased God. Now without faith it is impossible to please God, for the one who draws near to him must believe that he exists and rewards those who seek him. So Enoch, there's only a verse about him in Genesis. He was 65 years old, and this is Genesis 5:21. And it says, Enoch was 65 years old when he fathered Methuselah. We know the name Methuselah because he was the guy that lived the longest of the Bible. After the birth of Methuselah, Enoch walked with God 300 years. That's a long time, whatever, any which way you look at it. And we'll discuss that more as we go through Genesis and discussing what was going on there. He fathered other sons and daughters, and so his life lasted 365 years. Enoch walked with God, and he was not there because God took him. So here's Enoch walking with God, and all of a sudden, he's not there. God's like, come on, just come with me. Enoch and Elijah are the only two people in the Bible that did not suffer a physical death. They were just, God said, just come on. You've done good, let's just go. And if there's reasons for that, we'll get to it again some other day in Revelations. There's three parts of Enoch's life that we really want to look at and the lessons he teaches us. One, having faith is more important than you think. Faith is the oxygen that really we utilize in our body. Without oxygen, our bodies shut down and stop functioning. Kind of happens to me when I swim now. I'm so out of shape. Without faith, our spirits shut down and stop functioning. Without faith, it is impossible to please God, it says in Hebrews. It doesn't say that without faith, it's just incredibly difficult to please God. It says that without faith, your relationship with God isn't just sick, it's actually dead. It's non-functioning. There's no way a person can please God unless they believe certain things. Enoch demonstrates that what God does for us when we have faith. What are the benefits of having faith in God? Well, there's two. One, God will bring you to heaven. It's kind of a good benefit. By faith, Enoch was taken away, so he did not experience death, and he was not to be found because God took him away. For prior to his transformation, he was approved, having pleased God. That is awesome. He pleased God. We know how happy we are when somebody says, good job, well done. God says it, it's a pretty good day. God makes people a better person with faith. So the other side of the story is what happens when we don't have faith in God. Well, he shows us what happens too. Without faith, my life will disappoint God. Without faith, it is impossible to please God. Hebrews 11:6. The word impossible is a strong word. You're more likely to be struck by lightning today, I think it's 3 million to 1, than you are to please God without faith. It's impossible. The probability that you one day might die by flesh-eating worms is about 1 million to 1. Without faith, you can't please God. It is impossible. The writer says you're more likely to have some statistical oddity happen to you than you are to make God happy in any other way but by putting your faith in him. There's no getting around the word impossible. You'll fail to reach your potential without faith. It takes belief, strong belief, to reach one's potential in a lot of things. But with the God thing that we're talking about, in the first place, you have to believe that reaching your potential is possible. You believe in God, it is possible to please him. In the second place, you have to believe in yourself when others don't. When you're all getting criticized, when others are telling you that you don't have what it takes, and the times you have to have faith in yourself and the Lord. This is not one of those positive things. Oh, believe in yourself, believe, receive. No, this is believe in God, and he will help you make the improvements that you're seeking. Not everybody's going to be happy when you start changing and you start reaching that potential. You think everybody's going to think, oh, that's awesome. People don't like it sometimes. Have you ever started making changes and some real improvements in your life, and you share the good things that are happening, that because of these improvements, and then you're kind of surprised that these people aren't too happy? They're like, wow. You're like, hey, look at all this weight I'm losing. This is amazing. COVID just still going on, but I found my gym and I'm losing weight. And they're not so happy because they're always thinking about themselves. Well, they're making excuses. You want to please God. You want to have faith in God to keep you through those times and keep reaching for your potential. You are to please God, not people. And it's easier than you think. For the one who draws near to God believes that he exists. So what is believing in God? Why is it easy? Because belief in God is natural. We know there's a God. Because belief in God, that is, which is known about God, is evident to them. It says this in Romans 1:19. Look this one up. Romans 1:19. For that which is known about God is evident to them and made plain in their inner consciousness, because God himself has shown it to them. This is called general revelation in theology. It shows that God has made it plain in creation, the universe. There is a designer. There is God. It's an easy one. Cosmologists, astronomers, they're like, yeah, there's a designer. This didn't just snap in there. It's the people that see the small picture that start fighting the biologists. Oh, well, there's all these things happening. You see the big picture? There's a designer. Does that point you to the Judeo God? No, other things point to that, and that's called special revelation. That's when Jesus comes and he reveals himself, special revelation. But general, pretty easy to believe in God. I was thrust, Psalms 22:10. I was thrust into your arms at my birth. You have been my God from the moment I was born. Number 2, belief in God is reasonable because ever since the world was created, people have seen the earth and the sky. They can see his invisible and visible power and his divine nature. They have no excuse for not knowing God. It's provable. I am the Lord all-powerful. I challenge you, he says, to put me to the test. It's not fickle. God is not a man. He's not lying. And we have the Bible. I'm going pretty quick here. The general revelation is nature. The special revelation is the Bible. God has revealed himself through that. It's hard to get to that next step without actually reading the Bible. So to finish off here, because I don't want to take too much time, God can do anything in your life that he wants to. Your faith is not misplaced in him. Your trust is not misplaced in him. By that faith, you prove yourself worthy of his love. He loves you anyways. It's a weird thing. By reading the Bible, reading about your friend, your God, your designer, that is what creates more of a relationship. If, again, I've shared this before, if I know that our Pastor John had a book written about him, and maybe there is, a pretty neat guy, and I would read it because I want to know more about John. And John's just a dude. So let us take our time to really search. We have a lot of time on our hands too. Really search and understand our God. God can do anything. Far more than you could ever imagine or guess in your wildest dreams. He does it not by pushing us around, but by working within us. But you have to ask him to do that. You said, Lord, I'm giving you this life. It hasn't been that much fun for 3 months, and my life wasn't so much fun for a lot of years. I had to hand it to him. It doesn't make me weak. Well, I guess it does. I was kind of weak because I wasn't doing such a good job with it. Once I gave it to him, things changed. My eyes were opened to other people, to their needs and what he wanted me to do and help them. And it's hard. There's sometimes you just get totally rejected. But the goal is to please God. God calls, you answer. So aloha kepono. Have a great, great day. All right, guys. Hopefully, we're going to do this test right now. We're going to be all sanitized and masked up, and at least we can be together. We're never really apart, but it's nice to kind of hang out a little bit. Aloha.